Hey, good morning everybody, and happy Sunday, and welcome to Sean's Shave Den. I am Sean, and the products that are going to be used, this is going to be a little bit longer, because this is more like a how-to video with shaving with, let me get the top here. So the soap that I'm going to be using is going to be a very, not really controversial, but like it's notorious for being a very difficult soap to lather. And that would be Mitchel's Wool Fat. This has been a formula for a very long time, 100 years or so. It's been the same formula. They haven't really changed it up much, but it is notorious for being a little difficult to lather. I'm gonna show you how to do that today. So Mitchel's Wool Fat is gonna be the soap, and the brush that I just got a little bit ago, which I've had soaking in some hot water while I was taking my shower, is going to be, which I just wrang the brush out a little bit, is going to be my Turn and Shave, the Cocksoap Group brush with the 28mm tip knot, which is very nice, really soft, and I love it so far. But yeah, that's the Turn and Shave. Very beautiful brush, custom made by Milton at Turn and Shave for the Cocksoap Group. Okay, and while I was in the shower, I had my tub of Mitchel's Wool Fat, as you can see, with a little bit of water in there. I'm letting it bloom for a little bit. So I've been blooming with hot water on top of it, just to soften up the top of the soap for about 10, 15 minutes or so, okay? And you don't really need that much time, but I usually let it bloom while I'm taking a shower and getting my beard ready for the shave. So what I'm gonna do with that right now is I'm gonna take the bloom water, I'm gonna pour it into my hand, and I'm gonna use that as a pre-shave to soften up the whiskers a little bit. Once again, I apologize. This video may be a little bit longer than normal because it's more of a tutorial on how to use the Mitchel's Wool Fat. So I got that as a pre-shave. It's nice and in my beard a little bit. The razor that I'm going to be using today, as always, usually is my Karve with the B plate, okay? And for the blade, I'm going to be having the Gillette 7 o'clock Super Platinum Black razor. And I think it's on the third use. So as you can see, it's all bloomed. It's a little softer on top now because it was bloomed with some hot water. And I got my brush. This is going to be a face lather. I found with this particular soap, it doesn't really lather well in a bowl. So I'm usually a bowl latherer, but today I'm going to be doing with the face lather. So see, look at those tips. They're all gelled and ready to go. Basically took pretty much all the water out of the brush, except for leaving it nice and damp right here. And I'm going to load right off the puck from the tub. If you have a bowl, if you don't have the ceramic tub, that's fine. You could press the soap into the bottom of another little mug or something like that, and you could load like that. So what I'm gonna start doing is, I'm gonna load. And you see how it's getting very foamy? This soap has a very narrow water window, so it doesn't take a lot of water, but it does take enough water to make it slick and keep the lather going a little bit. Otherwise, it's going to be really pasty. But you want to load very heavily. Now, I find the brush that I use, it does matter. You need a brush with a lot of backbone for the most part because it is a hard puck of soap. And you also need a brush that's denser. So I find, like with my board knot brush, my smoke board knot brush, it doesn't really work that great because it doesn't have a lot of density to the hairs. So the soap doesn't stick to each hair of the brush, and it does, and when it does, it's very little. So you don't get the amount of lather in the brush as you would with, say, this Badger brush over here. And this is a more denser knot, and the backbone on it is very nice, but the tips are very soft. I've also used and gotten good results with a synthetic brush, usually the tuxedo knots with the bigger backbone work. And as you can see, it's making a very airy lather, but that's all right. You're not making the lather from the soap, you're making the lather on your face. So you want to get that nice and loaded up, very, very, very loaded. You want that tip to be caked with soap. And as you can see, it's already starting to get that way. Take a little bit more time loading it. Now, if you don't want to use the soap, that's fine, but I do have to say you are missing out on something. This soap is very good. It's very slick, and if lathered correctly, it will work wonders. The post shave on this soap is very good for a mass-produced soap. So as you can see, I'm still lathering it up, well, loading the brush. See, still getting caked on. You want to make it short so that's a nice paste. Like I said, very dense knot with a little bit of backbone will get you going with this soap. And as you can see, it's already starting to weigh down the knot a little bit from the tips. Okay, I think we're almost done loading the brush. Just load a little extra time. Like I said, it's a very good soap, but it's a very difficult soap, especially for beginners to use. And as you see, that's just caked onto the tips of the brush here. And I think that's enough. So take the proto lather from around the sides and kind of put that on my face over here. It just helps to soften the whiskers before you get the actual lather on your face. Very nice. Let me put that down now. It also helps with the lather on the face as well. So you got a little bit of soap on your face to get with the lather. Okay. And then what I'm going to do with the brush, now that's all caked on like that, is I'm just going to paint it. See how it's all pasty? Now I got about 2.5 days worth of growth right now. You see how it's all pasty? That's not going to be the lather that I'm shaving with. I mean, could you? Theoretically, yes. It's still slick enough to shave, but it's going to be sticking to your blade a little bit more. So now that I got my face covered with the pasty goo, I'm going to take a little, hold the brush up like this so I show, put a little bit of water in my thing and drip it on top. Just a very little bit. You want to gradually add water and then paint it in. And that's one thing I don't miss about animal brushes. Not necessarily the break-in period for Badger brushes, but they have a smell. So I do get a little bit of a barnyard smell because it's a semi-new brush. I just got it this week and been working on it. So more water, very little, and then paint it in again. But the smell will go away very quickly after a few shaves. It's already starting to go away now. See how it's starting to get a little bit less pastier. I mean, this lather isn't going to be very high structure. It's not going to have a lot of foam. It's going to be more closer to your skin. So you're not going to get like a Santa beard with this soap. And put a little bit more soap on here, or a little bit more water. And paint it in. Very gradual. All right, now what you want to do is now that you got a little bit of wetness in, you want to kind of spread the knot on your face. And I'm starting to agitate it a lot more. And you're starting to build up the lather now. See? Already starting to go. See? Plenty of lather. And it's still thick and pasty. Here. Still thick and pasty, so add a little bit more water to the tip of the brush. Drop in a little bit, paint it in. Now, I forgot to say, I live in Puerto Rico, and we have pretty hard water. Not as hard as some places, but it's still hard water. It's definitely not soft water. And as you can see, still building up a lather with this soap. So, really comes down to the technique. And then spread it a little bit more. As you can see, it's just lathering up really nicely. I think it's just about ready to go. Once lathered, this soap will stay lathered for quite a bit. Once again, this is going to take a little bit more time to lather up than most soaps, but the results are very nice. So I added a little bit more water in there. Once again, this works better. See how that lather? I find this works better with a face lather, this soap. starting to get a nice sheen to it. Put a little bit more water on top. This helps also prepare your beard a little bit more. Look at all that lather. And I think it's just about ready for the first pass. Okay, it's already slick as hell. Put that back on the tip of the brush here. Getting harder to even put on my brush or hold on to my brush. All right, I think that's enough. As you can see, very nice lather out of the Mitchel wool fat. And it's not going to be a high structure lather. See, as it's still fairly close to the face, it's not going to be like a Santa beard. Let's get some alum on my hand because it's very slippery. And we'll start with the first pass. Once again, this video is going to be a little long. Wet the blade. Look at that. Absolutely no issues with slickness on this soap. Very nice. Just cutting through like butter. Once again, it's okay if you don't want to try this soap because of the difficulty in lathering, but I will say you will be missing out on something because this soap is very, very nice. There's not much of a smell to it. It's more of a soapy smell. So it could be worn with any aftershave of your choice. And that's coming right off. And for a mass-produced soap, the post-shave is just unbelievable. Very nice. Doesn't even feel like the blade's there. So protective. All right. And once again, as I said before, I live in Puerto Rico, so my water is pretty hard. Not as hard as some, but it is very hard water. And as you can see, no problems with that lather dissipating whatsoever. So let me, as you can see, still plenty of lather in the brush to cake up. So let me stop the video and lather my face up again and get ready for the second pass. All right, back for the second pass. And as you can see, still lathering like a champ. And that's just from what was in the brush. There's no need to go back to the puck. So let's get started with the, move the camera a little bit. Let's get started with the second pass. Very slick soap. Can't really go wrong with a soap that's been the same for hundreds of years. Still being made the same way in the same place in England. Haven't really changed their base. But it creates a very slick and very protective lather. All right, other side. And I think I'm only going to do 2 passes, being as this video is long enough with this soap. But I just want to show you at the end of this pass how much lather I still have in the brush, which I'm going to finish off the rest of my shave off camera. And that's BBS so far, actually. Don't even need to do the third pass. And the residual slickness on the soap is fantastic too. You could go over, if properly dialed in as far as the water, you could go over a spot easily 4 or 5 times. Yeah, I'm only going to do 2 passes. I think you got the point. All right, perfect. Got a little pimple over here. Very smooth shave so far. All right, that's gonna be it for the shaving part of the video. Let me finish off my third pass and shave, and then I'll get back to you with the post shave, okay? But as you can see, still perfect amount of soap in that brush for the third pass, which I'm gonna do off camera. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, back for the post shave, and as you can see, I just finished up my third pass, and drama-free, very nice BBS shave right here. So for the post shave, before we get started with the thing, as you can see, there's still plenty of lather in that brush right here. Easy enough for another 2 passes. So don't be afraid to overload the puck, the brush with soap. As you can see, it's a very hard soap, so really didn't take that much soap out the top. This thing will last you forever, especially if you're getting into this wet shaving hobby and you have plenty of other soaps to go for. This will last you a long freaking time. But anyway, as you can see, very nice shave. The post shave is where it's at on this soap. You get a really nice supple post shave, no tightness to the skin, no nothing. As you can see, I got a little bit of, that's not cuts, that's some pimples from earlier this week. But great soap. Hopefully that's a good tutorial for you guys that are just getting started. And if you're not getting just started with wet shaving, hopefully this helped you out with the lather for the Mitchel's Wool Fat, which is a tough soap, or the fat as it's called. And for the post shave, I'm going to be use Fine Platinum. Really good aftershave, really nice smell. It's got a Creed Aventus type smell, and from what I hear, this is one of the closest you could get to the Creed Aventus scent without spending $400 on a bottle of that cologne. So that's the post shave. Let me get some on my hands. With this soap, you don't really need a post shave, but I like to smell good. Very good. No burn whatsoever. All right, guys, and that's it for the shave. Hopefully this helped out. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel, Sean's Shave Den, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Thank you, guys. Hope you guys have a great Mother's Day, and to all the mothers that are watching this, if there are mothers watching this, happy Mother's Day, and hope all goes well. I'm going to have a nice tropical Mother's Day with my my girlfriend and her mother and family, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.